Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Joe. Welcome back to another episode of the Inside Our Phillies podcast. This is not going to be a positive episode today, as the Braves have swept the Phillies out of Citizens Bank Park on Friday night. The Braves beat the Phillies, shut them out 9-0. Saturday night, Braves won 3-1, and then tonight on Sunday Night Baseball, the Braves won 4-2. It is the first time in a decade that the Braves have swept the Phillies in a series of at least 3 games at Citizens Bank Park. And the Phillies now sit as the team in Major League Baseball with the worst run differential. Um, so I think things are not going great, it's safe to say. And here to talk all about it, we have Jeremy. How are you today, Jeremy?
We're not the Mets.
We're not the Mets. This is true. The Phillies might be 2-8 over their last 10 games, but they have made up 2 games on the Mets in that time span. So, that's a pro.
I'd rather lose 5 in a row than 11.
Well, if you lose 6 more, all of a sudden you'll find yourself at 11. But no, that's true. If we want to, kind of later in this podcast, we can kind of talk about Phillies versus the Mets. It was like a big topic in the offseason, the Mets changing everything up, and the Phillies keeping things so similar, and kind of how those two styles are going to clash against each other. And it turns out that it might not be the clash of the Titans that people were kind of thinking and hoping it would be going into the season. But let's kind of start this off. It's just a question for you. What is like your number one takeaway from this series? I have so many takeaways, so many places to go. So Jeremy, like, what's the number one thing on your mind that you want to talk about?
Oh, this is worse than 2012. 2012, at least there was like injuries. Like no one is really hurt right now. I mean, yeah, a couple people are hurt, but that would not have prevented all the struggles they're having.
Yeah, I mean, 2012, right? It was like the injuries kind of going into the season. Obviously, like Ryan Howard coming off of the Achilles, Ellie's knee. Like there were so many problems going into the season for the 2012 Phillies. And I think overall they were more competitive than this team has looked. They're their first 21 games, as the Phillies now sit at 8-13.
Yeah,
Um,
2012 they were literally mid 81 and 81. But yeah, you had Utley play for 83 games, Howard for 71, Blanco was 90, Victorino was 101. Like they were just hurt.
there's
Oh, he's
there's
traded.
still
That's right. They traded Victorino the same year. That's right.
there's still time for things to fall apart on the injury front. Don't want to jinx anything, but right now they are mostly healthy. But let's actually talk about the injuries first, because I think that's going to be what a lot of people are kind of taking out of this series. Starting with Joan Duran. He has an oblique strain, a very minor one apparently, but severe enough for him to be placed on the 15-day injured list. So we'll be without him for at least another week, even with the way they were able to backdate his injured list in. And to me, this is kind of just going to be a test for the bullpen, the depth of the bullpen, right? You're seeing Keller, who's now going to be the closer, and everybody else kind of gets pushed into higher leverage spots. What are your concern levels about the Duran injury, Jeremy?
I'm not that concerned, especially since we we haven't needed him for basically a week.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's one way of putting it, right? But yeah, I mean, yeah, obliques are always a little bit tricky, right? Like I see oblique, and in my head, I'm like, this is a 6-week injury. But the Phillies have kind of said multiple times, urged how minor of an oblique strain this is, so that kind of has me feeling more optimistic. Um, Even if it ends up being something where he misses, 3 weeks instead of 15 days, okay, like we'll take that. It's not the end of the world. And kind of on the lines of being positive, Jeremy, I think one thing to feel mostly okay about after this series is the bullpen. The bullpen has been pretty much fine still.
Yeah, yeah, no, the bullpen's fine. I mean, honestly, looking at everyone's stats, even Alvarado's, Alvarado's FIP. Can you guess what it is?
Uh, you guessing you saying that question makes me think it's not bad. Let's guess 322.
227.
227. Okay. We'll take it. Um,
So so yeah, but everyone else is like I mean, obviously, Bobcats in the six, Sugar in the sixes, Johnson's he only pitched one game prior to this, and today he looked good.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the bullpen. I think there are some concerns about like the whole um, Mays sanity run being done. I think Tim Mays might not be as good as he seemed for the first 2 weeks of the year. Banks has shown some signs, some reasons to be concerned. So for that reason, like I'm slightly concerned about the left side part of the bullpen. But Keller is also capable of getting lefties out, even though he pitches from the right side. And like overall, I think the bullpen is the least of my concerns right now. The bullpen is not the reason the Phillies are really losing any games.
Yeah, yeah. No, the bullpen. No, the bullpen's not the reason. Like, yes, but like we can't score consistently.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, I think it's not that they can't score consistently. I think it's just that they could barely score at all. You look at like runs scored in the league, and the Phillies are tied for third to last right now. The Royals have 71 runs, the Mets have 72, and then the Phillies are tied with the Giants at 75. Um, it's not where you want to be. It's really not where you want to be, especially once you get past that number three spot in the lineup. You have Turner, who I think people trust more than they don't. You have Schwarber and Harper second and third, and then after that, things just fall off a cliff, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, God forbid. Like we really only score off home runs, so you got to pray that someone's on base.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's no base path activity, right? Like the Phillies do not steal runs. Like Trey Turner, it feels like it is not trying to really steal bases out there. We've only seen Justin Crawford attempt a couple of steals this entire season. Now, granted, his hit today was the first time that he had a hit in like the last week, so he didn't really have many chances to run. But still,
No, I mean, just like, and people always are like, oh, like people meet like we'll go with the fact the Harper comments in the offseason, whatever. But today, Turner, Schwarber, and Harper went 4 for 12, and then the rest of the team went 2 for let's see, 7, 10, 14, 18, 21. 2 for 21. So the top three guys, like yes, Turner isn't doing great, but he's kind of been picking it up slowly. Uh, but yeah, it's amazing. The top three aren't the problem, which we're like, oh, we can't win because they don't perform in the playoffs. No, we can't win at all right now because 4 through 9 do nothing.
yeah. I mean, it's just feeble. Like the at bats look feeble. I think Bowman Stott are the two that people are really pointing to, but beyond that, Justin Crawford was essentially a non-entity this week. Adolis Garcia is very much so cooled off, and he seems like the Adolis Garcia that he has been in 2024 and 2025. It feels like Brandon Marsh has cooled off. Like you can kind of list off all of these guys that are hitting. Rafael Marchand has had one hit the entire season, and he's played a decent bit. Like this is just not where you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, we credit to every time I see Marsh make contact now, it's like 95 plus miles per hour. It's insane.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Marsh, I don't think we can crucify like we can crucify some of the other guys on this team.
No,
But then you have the whole starting
especially
pitching it. Go ahead.
well, especially because like when Marsh is in the lineup, he they're not going to give him anything to hit when everyone else is so bad around him. So he's not the type of player who's able to like uh wear down a badge and try to get a good pitch. So he needs a supporting cast around him too. So
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And don't you think at some point that's going to start impacting like Schwarber and Harper? Because if you're just not getting production and you're getting a lot of strikeouts from the guys that hit after those two, why would you give any of them something to hit? If they're the ones that are doing, the majority of the damage that this lineup does, why not just pitch around them if they get on base? So be
they
it.
do. I mean,
Because
yeah, Harper's still swinging at too many balls, in my opinion.
he's
Until
not on.
in the ninth for Turner, the first two pitches were nowhere near the zone. It used as
Sure.
usual in the dirt.
Yeah, I mean, that at bat in the ninth by Turner tonight was
No, it
terrible.
was flashbacks to 2023 in LCS.
Do you think I've seen some discussion online about if the Phillies are trying too hard or not trying hard enough? Like, do you prescribe to any of those like methodologies about
Uh,
this team?
yes, no, definitely too hard. I definitely think they're trying too hard.
Yeah, explain why.
I mean, the way like the bats go. I mean, like a Turner, two on, bottom of the ninth, one out, two pitches low in the dirt. He's just like, I'm not. He's swinging for the fences.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't think the
Yeah,
problem is a
and then
lack of
like
effort.
yeah, no, yeah, and then people like Bohm. I mean, Bohm has his again family stuff aside. He's always been a player in his own head, and so and it's his contract year. All this everything on going on with him. I mean, like, you try not to like make excuses for outside. Like, you try to treat them as like commodities in football in baseball. Like, try to separate the humans, but he's going through crap. But still, he's sucking.
Yeah, and the pressure is only going to get higher for him as he continues to struggle in his contract year, especially with the family situation, and maybe he hasn't gotten all the money that he's deserved throughout his career. It's tough, and I feel for him. Certainly with Alec Bohm, the problem is not that he's not trying too hard enough. He's putting in a lot of effort. He's working out. Is he that good? Probably not, but he is trying. Um, I think more and more we're kind of seeing Citizens Bank Park start to play against the team. I know we've talked about this in plenty of episodes this season already, but like you can't tell me that these guys aren't pressing at home. I mean, a 2-7 homestand against the Diamondbacks, the Cubs, and the Braves is unthinkable. Like it's honestly unthinkable. But it is now the reality, and I don't really know how else to explain it other than CBP turning kind of toxic for the Phillies.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I just think a lot of it is the leadership in the dugout. Thompson is not the solution, and I do not understand why they extended him.
Well, I mean, to play devil's advocate, like maybe they had to so he wasn't a lame duck this year, right? Like you hear it a lot more with like college coaches so they can recruit to,
I know, I know. It's just so bizarre. Yeah, like they'll never. They always. It's like I know. It's like basically a pay in case you get fired. It's really weird.
how would you change the team up? Like I think you're right in a lot of ways. Like there's a lot of coaching that seems questionable, right? Rob Thompson has been questionable. There's a lot of people upset at Kevin Long. I think a lot of people were like upset at like Dusty Watson, especially today when he didn't send Turner home on that double. Um, what would you do
Uh,
to shake this team up?
yeah, I mean, I would. I mean, okay, first fire along. I know it doesn't matter, like hitting coach, blah blah blah, but like the star play Turner, Schwarber, and Harper. At least those two, they've been pretty consistent, good, especially recently. Everyone else is so bad. The young guys like Marsh, they're not young anymore. Marsh, Bohm, and Stott. I mean, like Marsh has been slumping a little bit, but he goes through these every so often. But still, Bohm and Stott, terrible. What is Long? What is Long doing to help them get better? Why Bohm keeps pounding shit into the ground, and they keep saying to work with him. They need a different voice.
It can't hurt at this point, right? Like I don't see what harm a new voice could cause.
No, exactly. Yeah, because always the manager's always the last resort. So it's like you. So if they don't want to fire Thompson, they have to fire Long. That's my.
Well, who would you rather fire if you got to take over Dave Dombrowski's body for a day and you could fire one of the two? Who would you fire?
Assuming that the hitting coach can actually fix things, the hitting coach.
Can the hitting coach actually fix things though? Like that's a big
I mean, you
assumption.
hear, I know, but you hear like Schwarber said Long picked him when he was in Washington.
Yeah. No, it's a good
So it
point.
just take, yeah. So like, I think if you're a certain point in your career, a hitting coach, I don't think Long's a bad hitting coach. I think the game's passed him by into like terms of the true to outcome stuff, and he's not. able to solve what the Phillies batters' problems are,
Yeah. I think
or they're just not listening to him.
I think I would go Thompson over Long, mostly
I
because
mean,
I just
you're
don't
not
know
gonna
how
you're
much
not gonna yeah, you're not gonna hear me begging to save Thompson, so
and then, I mean, I just think that, like, Don Mattingly is sitting right there, and, like, maybe he's, like,
true.
a slightly better than average, slightly better than replacement level even manager, but I think that Rob
Also,
Thompson.
I guess I'm also forgetting, like, the whole Girardi getting fired effect.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it will do something, maybe it won't, I don't know, but I just think the replacement right there, it makes too much sense. Um, the thing with Rob Thompson is, like, we never really see the fire or the energy publicly, and I feel like I hear people say online, like, "Oh, maybe it's behind the scenes, he's kind of firing the team up and tearing into them, giving them energy, whatever," but, like, we've never seen stories
I've
like that come out from beat
No,
reporters,
no,
so, like,
we've seen, like, his speeches in the playoffs and stuff like that. It's very meh.
yeah, like, I don't think he's, a different guy. He seems like a great guy, right? Like, but,
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
no, no,
think.
like, yeah, same thing with Castellanos. I don't think Castellanos is a bad person.
Sure, I just don't think.
I just I don't want him on the Phillies anymore.
Yeah, I don't think Rob Thompson's leading them out of the slump that they're in now. Um, let's get into the starting pitching a little bit, because this was another interesting series as far as the starting pitchers go. Obviously, Friday night, Taiwan Walker got kind of shelled. Um,
Kinda.
7 runs over 4 innings. Like, you can't really take much away from that at this point, right?
Oh, I mean, you see what they announced today?
Yep, yep. He will be making one more start on was it like Friday or something like that? Maybe it's not Friday. Maybe it's earlier than that. I guess it'll be game one against the Braves. Maybe that is Friday then. But he'll making a start against the Braves next or against the Cubs next week. But he won't be actually the starter. They're going to have an opener, and then he'll come in and presumably the second inning.
I know that I just like to think, "Oh, the first inning's the problem." No, he's gonna come in the second and probably do as bad in the first.
Well, I mean, the opener does make sense from the perspective of you're facing the top of the lineup at the end of your turn going around the lineup, right? So let's say, in the first inning, somebody gets on base, but the opener gets out of it and they get through 1 through 4. Then the starting pitcher comes in facing number 5 in the order. And then, they're going through the second and third time through of the top of the order, an inning later than they would otherwise, 2 innings later than they would otherwise. That's the real value to it. Um, but yeah, Taiwan Walker's just getting shelled by whoever he goes against. I don't think it's necessarily just the top of the lineups that are killing
You know,
him.
I would release him too to send a message to the team and the fan base that shit's not good.
I mean, I guess once you have Wheeler back, Walker becomes disposable. I mean, Walker has no role in the bullpen right now, right? Like, I'm not
Well,
putting him in for a.
you telling me we can't call up any Joe Schmo and get 4 innings, 7 runs?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good
It's my
point.
point. It's like it sends a message, and you can't get. It's very easy to get his value in anyone we have in the minors. Like we started freaking Sean O'Sullivan in the bad years.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, his ERA for the year is up to 9.16, right? Like, you could theoretically throw up like a replacement level pitcher, and they're
Be better,
probably going
yeah,
to be about the same.
yeah. So it's just I'm tired of him. It sends a message to the team and the fan base that this shit ain't right.
Well, and I guess to your point, there's not many ways in which you can send a message to the team right now, like the other than what we're talking about with coaching and managing, because like the roster is more or less set in stone. Like there are
Hey,
not many guys that have options available.
hey, the Stubbs has a 1.158 OPS in AAA right now.
I wouldn't mind
You hope,
swapping him out for Marchand, but the problem is that you'd
yeah.
have to DFA Marchand, and then
Oh no.
if
Oh
somebody claims
no.
him, then you
Oh
lose your catching depth,
no. Oh no.
or you IL
We
like.
have another. We have McIntosh in AAA. Like, oh no.
And who
You
knows?
can
I
always.
mean, maybe this JT thing requires him to go to the injured list, and then you have to call up Stubbs.
Yeah, that's. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. Yeah, but I mean, Key Boom's hitting 313 in AAA, but he's a
Yeah,
nothing. I don't.
yeah.
He's a quad A player.
I'm not getting
No, no,
excited
yeah, no,
about Connor Kieboom.
no, he's a quad A player. I know. So is Gus,
Um,
but it's just funny.
but with the Real Muto thing, I know we've been a little bit all over the place, but Real Muto with like a back pain, strain, whatever. Um, how fitting is it that the Phillies have like multiple guys dealing with back problems, right? And like Bryce Harper has had nagging back problems. Muto now has a back problem. Obviously, Aiden Miller has a back problem. Now Miller's not old, but the Phillies are a very old team, and for them to kind of have multiple guys going through back injuries, I don't know. It's just it's a little bit poetic.
Yeah, it's nothing more than I hate. And then it's like, yeah, JT can't play. Okay, then so Marshall comes up in a big spot in the ninth. We don't want to pinch it for him because we don't bother bringing up a catcher because he's hurt.
Well, clearly, I mean, they said that they had Romito available in case of an emergency, but clearly he wasn't available at all. If they weren't
Yeah,
putting him in
yeah, because
for,
they would have pinch hit Reyes.
yeah, I mean, yeah, they could have pinch hit. I mean, Romuto in for like Crawford or something like that. Crawford
No, but if his
walked,
back
which
he
is
can't.
great.
If he, if yeah, no, but if his back he can't hit, maybe he'll
Yeah,
field more.
yeah. I mean, I guess
I was saying, no, but
I
like I
guess
would
that's
just
not an
pinch hit for Marshall
emergency
in
as
that
far as
situation.
they're concerned.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Anyways, back to the starting pitchers before we kind of derailed this all. Chris Sanchez.
wait, but we talk. I mean, quick thing. We talk about the positive of Reyes coming up and home running his first at bat.
Yeah, I mean that was cool, right? Like that was a good moment that got I think a lot of people believing briefly.
Yeah, and then they didn't score again.
The scoring in one run Phillies are back. Um,
God,
Chris Sanchez again on Saturday night, like it wasn't a bad start, right? 3 runs, none of which were earned over 6 innings, but like it just didn't look easy for him, right? He allowed 9 base runners, on top
I
of
mean, it
whatever
didn't help with
errors.
Sosa that inning would have been over. So, and I just like everyone tries to say Sosa's a great defender. He's a great defender at short. He's somehow terrible everywhere else.
It really doesn't make any sense. It's pretty wild. But
Yeah,
I'm
and
waiting for
he's definitely trying to do much of the plate.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just waiting for Sanchez to have the start where it looks easy. Like I've not seen Sanchez look like he did last year yet. He is looking pretty good. Obviously, his ERA is in the ones. We'd love to see it, but it just feels like every single time out right now, he's had his B stuff and he's gotten hit around a little bit and he's working through it. Um, not concerned about Sanchez, but it would sure be nice to have a laugher and just have to, a game where we can sit back and just watch him shove.
Yeah,
Who knows when that's going to come? Um,
yeah.
and then today, Painter, it was a weird start. He struck out 4 over 4 innings, but I think overall that this was not great for him. The command was not really there. He was missing up a lot. Obviously allowed the big home run to Harris the second. He's not really getting those whiffs on the fastball, especially the four seam fastball. He threw 84 pitches over 4 innings plus today. Um, what did you think of Painter?
Not great. Uh, but not terrible. I mean, 4 runs, 3 runs, 4 innings. Not terrible. It's not what you want from a starter, obviously, but not Taiwan Walker.
Yeah, right. If the floor is Taiwan Walker, Painter is exceeding that floor. Um, but again, it's kind of just like there's no depth. Like there's no depth of the starting pitching to the point that like we're needing Painter and Walker to start every fifth day. And I know Wheeler's going to come back soon, and Walker isn't going to be in the rotation anymore. But it is killing the bullpen to have to cover so many innings for these pitchers, right? Like we got, I think, spoiled last year by seeing starting pitchers go almost 6 innings every single game.
Yeah, not great.
But I guess it's just not modern modern baseball, right? Like starting pitchers going 5 innings is kind of the norm, and I think we've been in
Which I
our
hate. I
yeah. I'm so pro the double hook DH, but we haven't experienced it for ourselves yet.
yeah, I mean, I'm also pro like little yeah, like that would solve the opener problem.
Well, let's move on to the sixth starting pitcher who is going to be joining the team soon, Zach Wheeler. He made what is seemingly going to be his final minor league appearance in Reading today, where he was not great. He allowed a couple of home runs, I think 4 runs over 4 innings. Um, he, his velocity was kind of sitting 92 on the fastball, which maybe you can blame the cold day and the weather too, but I don't know. Overall, I feel like these starts in AAA and in AA for Wheeler have me concerned about him coming up and going against the Braves in Atlanta next weekend. Like it just doesn't sit right with me.
We're kind of screwed.
Like what if Wheeler comes up and he gives you, kind of something similar to what he did in the minor leagues? 4 innings, 4 runs. That's not all that different from Taiwan Walker.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're never going to score 4 runs again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like you almost need starting pitchers to be perfect. And if they're not perfect, then you need the defense to be perfect. Because if they're
Which,
not, then
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, no, I mean, oh god, yeah, I think if things don't look better by at least mid-June, I think firings will happen.
You think it's gonna take until June. I don't think it's necessarily gonna take until June.
I'm just historically speaking, the Phillies never make changes before June. Like it's so I was like, when did Jojo Reddy get fired? That was so early
That was May,
for them.
right?
Uh,
I think it was middle endish of May. It's like 50 games in or something like that.
no, June. He was fired June 3rd.
It
They
was
were
June.
22 and 29.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so they were 7 games under. Right now, 21 games in. The Phillies are five
Yeah,
games under.
that's a 431 winning percentage.
I don't know, man.
And so yeah, so what are we at? Like, what's our winning percentage right now? Let's see.
We're on pace for
Currently,
100
it's
losses. I know
nope. Yeah,
that.
we're 380. We're at 381. So yeah, I mean, are we the type of like people that do we just want them to keep sucking for like a couple more weeks so that forces changes?
I mean, I think I think a couple more weeks of play like this could force changes. So the schedule coming up ahead, they have 4 at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. They have 3 at Truist Park against the Braves. Then they welcome the Giants to Citizens Bank Park because we have so much diversity in the teams that we're playing that apparently within 1 month we have to have 2 series against each of the Cubs, uh, Giants, and Braves. And then after that, we play the Marlins in Miami for 4. I think that if you end that Miami series and then you come home for a homestand against the A's and the Rockies, if you get to that point and the Phillies haven't really made up any ground, maybe that's when you see changes being made.
Yeah, I mean, ugh, but it's just it's funny how some of this was just so predictable. Like we were complaining about Thompson, just knew this was. Uh, yeah,
Well, to me, it's so much more than the Thompson stuff. Like, I think so much of what we talked about over the offseason
yeah,
is just being
Dombrowski.
shown
Yeah,
as being correct right now. Like the lack of starting pitching depth, it's not there.
yep,
The age in the players, we're seeing that. I mean, look at Trey Turner's baseball savant page, and it's so blue. And all the injuries
yeah,
with guys like Romuto and stuff like that. These are the things that happen when players get
yeah, yeah.
older.
I know, and just like yeah, having no, what was their catching plan if they signed uh what's its face trader number one public enemy
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
on the Mets.
Oh,
I think so.
Bichette?
Bichette, yeah, yeah. So, like, what was our catching plan if we signed Bichette?
I mean, was Jeffers still available at the time or something like that, right? Like, I guess they could have got
He's
Ryan
still
Jeffers.
available. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
Ryan Ryan
Bichette's
Jeffers
on,
has had
like,
it.
a four-game hitting streak, now,
I
but he's
mean,
still
Bichette's
bad.
anyway. Bichette's had a bad start to the year. Ryan Jeffers, to his credit, he has had a good start to the year. His OPS plus of 139 right now for the Twins.
Yeah. Yeah, but, yeah, they're not good. They're right now, they're, 11-10, so they're not looking to trade.
Oh, and I don't mean a trade, just in terms of like the different ways that this offseason could have gone.
I know,
And
but we could've traded for Ryan Jeffers was never a free agent. You had to trade for him.
I thought he was a free agent.
No, 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 he's free agent after this year.
Oh, okay. So he was just on the trade market. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. The biggest concern I have is the thing that we talked about for really the last year of us running this podcast have been the medium term future for the Phillies being so bad because these contracts for Nola, for Turner, for Harper, for now Schwarber, like they're all going to stick around, and the Phillies are going to be paying $100 million plus for not much production. But the trade off that we had to accept in exchange for that medium term future being dicey was the short term being good, maximizing the chances to win in the short term. But I think what we're seeing right now is a mix of structural problems, a mix of bad luck, because, I mean, objectively, the BABIP that the Phillies are allowing is not
It's
sustainable. Now,
insane.
I
No.
think, go ahead.
No, yeah, no, like, soft hit, it's insane.
I mean, to some extent, I think that I saw something that the Phillies had the worst defensive positioning for their infield in
That doesn't
in the
surprise me.
majors. So that's probably not helping the BABIP discussion. And the defense has also been pretty poor. So that's not helping the BABIP discussion. Like the route that Brandon Marsh took in left field on the double. Um, I don't know what that was. That was like Otto Kemp looking left field or Reese Hoskins in left field. Um, it's tough. I mean, you look at the difference between the swinging bunt where, Bohm had no chance of making a play, and then you look at the play that was hit to Riley, and he made like a Jeter-esque jump throw, and Sale had the Jeter-esque jump throw. Um, and I don't know. Like, it's just part of it's bad luck, and part of it's the team just really going through it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just literally, this is worst case scenario. Everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, Luzardo is struggling, offense is non-existent, old man JT is hurt.
what's crazy is there were tickets available before the game today for $6 on TickPick. And I know that it's bad weather, April, school night, all that kind of stuff, whatever. But for years and years, you're still not getting in for, less than $15-$20 on a night like tonight. Six
Yeah.
dollars tells me that, to some extent, fans are starting to check out. And I don't know if I blame them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're not worth they're not fun to watch.
No, no, they're brutal. They're brutal. Um, I don't know why I'm kind of putting myself through this. I mean, I love baseball. I love the Phillies. No matter what, I'm going to continue to watch every night, even if it's into my own detriment, right? Um, I don't know. But we have a couple questions from some users. So if you have any questions for the future, please put them in the podcast channel in our Discord server. Link to that is in the show notes. We'd love to have you over there. But we have a question from Weewa. When do you truly slam the panic button if we're just seeing the same old garbage? And they suggested May. First, define what the panic button means to you, and then say when you would press that button.
I mean, panic button to me is if we don't stop bleeding now, they're gonna miss the playoffs. So panic button for me is, yep, mid-May, couple weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would start seriously considering making changes to the management of the team in 2 weeks. Like I was saying earlier, if things look and they're have a below 500 record in the next 2 weeks, I would seriously think about making changes. Um,
Well, yeah, like, okay, so we're in a 5-game losing streak right now. So, like, how like like, say we lose 10 more, like, it goes on a 15-game streak, so it's
I don't
weekly?
even think that. If they go 3-7 in their next 10 games, or even 4-6 in the next 10 games, I would start to seriously consider making real changes. Because you
Yeah.
look at the standings, getting swept by the Braves has us now what 6.5
Yeah,
back
6. Yep, yep.
in the NL East, and we play them again. So say we lose 2 out of 3, or God forbid get swept again, like we could be pushing 9-10 games back of the division by the end of April.
I mean, yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, I think obviously the first big change will be is if Kemp, now he's been down in AAA getting regular at bats, if he immediately starts hitting the ball with, well, like, he's getting his timing back, everything, proper at bats, not freaking 20 at bats across 3 weeks.
Sure.
Uh, and yeah, and Bohm's still doing nothing. That would be the first change, obviously, guaranteed.
I mean, do you mean DFAing Bohm? Because he's out of options. They can't option him now that he has
Yeah,
more than 5 years of team control.
no, they can ask him to. They can ask him to go down.
Would he want to in a free agency year, though? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think I'm more likely to put Bum on a restricted list and have him work on his family issues. Uh,
Yeah, you got to convince him
but
to take a step back, I think, here, right? Like, you're at the point today where, like, you're celebrating him getting hit by a pitch, right? Like, it's,
yeah, I mean, the point is, unless like Bohm has to go nuclear the rest of the year to get a contract, that's not 1 year. Even
yeah. So you'd have to play like you did in the first half of 24.
I don't. Yeah, like we talk about the great May of 2013 for Brown. The first half of 2024, Bohm has kept him with us for the extra 2 years. He would have been
Yeah.
gone by now if he didn't have that first half.
I mean, one thing that the start, I think, has is inarguably done is it has to send everybody's win expectation down a little bit, no matter where you were in the preseason. So,
Oh
for
yeah,
example, I kind of had them in the mid 80 win total range, 85, 86, somewhere like that. And I certainly didn't predict that they'd go off to an 8-13 start as we talk here on April 19th. So just by nature of that and like the Bayesian math behind it, like I have to now round down a little bit and have them at like an 82, 83 win team. That's probably where I'm at right now.
yeah, yeah. But right now we have a 40.6% chance to make the playoffs.
Fangraphs, or is that baseball reference?
Baseball. We're a B beat bit podcast. Come on.
This is something where early in the year I will go to Fangraphs because Baseball Reference is entirely based on like the play of the last 100 games or the regular season to the point if there haven't been 100 games. Like it doesn't actually factor in
Oh,
like the composition of the team.
let's see. Projected. Oh yeah.
But
So yeah, it has us at 81 wins. Yeah, would clinch wild card 35%. Make play has 50% making playoffs. I think that's honestly very fair.
yeah, Fangraphs or talking with Fangraphs has the
Yeah.
Phillies at
No, I'm
84
saying
wins.
Fangraphs is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm reading Fangraphs. Yeah, they have us at 50% making the playoffs. I think that's very fair.
Are you taking the over or under on that right now?
At 50%.
Yeah.
I still think we'll make I don't believe in the Pirates still. I don't care. Reds, I don't believe in the Reds. Uh,
I'm pushing at 50%. I'm pretty much right at the same place.
the Padres are not as they've gotten really lucky. The NL doesn't inspire much besides the Dodgers
But you look at a
and the
team like the
Braves.
Padres, and the Phillies are 7 games back at the Padres now. So,
I know.
like, even if the, Phillies are a little bit better and all that kind of good stuff, you have to make up 7 games, which when you're talking
Yeah,
about,
well, what if we go on a 10-game win streak in the middle of the year?
I mean, sure, sure. I mean, that would fix a whole lot of things right now. But I don't know. But to go back to Weewa's question, if you define the panic button as when do you start to seriously consider what selling would look like, I'd say mid May, like a month from now. If a month from now they're 10 or more games out of the division and they're, you know, I don't know, uh, 20 and 32 or something like that, right? And like at that point, you have to really start to reconsider everything that you've built. Um, like if the next 21 games go exactly like these 21 games have gone, and the Phillies are 16 and 26, there'd be, I think, real reasons to just ponder what selling would look like.
The, the, it's Bohm and Stott and Marsh. That's pretty much it.
I Yeah, I
In
mean,
Kirkring.
Kerkering with the years of control, I don't think they'd sell him because he still has like 3 more years of team control or whatever. Um, I think I think selling would probably involve getting rid of one of the big contracts. Even if it's like Wheeler and his like 43 million for 26, 27. Maybe if Nola has a good year, maybe they can get somebody to take most of the value of that deal. Because if things do go backwards, the Phillies are going to have to find some way to get financial flexibility to fix things in the late 2020s and early 2030s. Because right now, their prospect pipeline, both in terms of who they currently have and the development that we've seen, is not good enough to replace these guys once they're aging out of their prime production, which they're starting to, and in some cases have already been doing for a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. If they yeah they're in a bad spot if they have to sell this year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think there's a real chance of it going that way. I think most of the time it doesn't, but I think there's a chance it does. I think I've said this before on the podcast, but if this is the year from hell and they end up having to sell, I would be so frustrated, man, because last year would have been such a juicy deadline to sell out. You got Schwarber, you got Real Muto, you got Ranger Suarez. Like, imagine how
Yeah,
much
but
you
they
could have
couldn't
gotten
trade
from that.
off last. They were in first place. They couldn't trade them last year.
Well, I'm saying, imagine if like last year was the year from hell instead of this year. If that's what this year
Oh yeah.
turns into, it
Oh
would have
yeah.
been
Yeah.
such a juicy trade deadline compared to like Bohm and Adolis
Yeah.
Garcia.
Yeah. It's just such a Phillies thing to happen.
Yeah, like this is last year. If they were bad, they could have rebuilt the farm. This year would not quite do the same at the deadline.
Yep.
Um, but another question from Stockholm Syndrome Haver: should we do another standing ovation like Turner? If so, who?
No.
Why not?
You want to stand for 3 innings of batting? That's what it takes to go with the 0 through 9. 1 through 9. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it with somebody, I think Bohm is somebody that could use like some positive energy right now. And I say this as probably
yeah,
like the
fair. You're right. I'm being a little bit too cynical. Yeah, if you had to do it for someone, I would do it for Bohm.
yeah. I say this as like the number
That
one Bohm disparager, but he could use it. I think.
you know,
A lot.
I'm a Bohm. I hate Bohm more than you.
So it's a high bar to clear, my friend.
uh, yeah, but yeah, no. If anyone, yeah, Bohm, because Bohm's had, yeah, because like the reason Turner got the ovation is because we saw the mental struggle after the Marlins series when he was like staying till midnight, just like beating himself down. So outside an ovation of that kind requires outside of the field reasoning.
Sure, sure. Well, let's talk about the series coming up against the
Yeah,
Cubs.
I'm sorry, but I imagine the standing ovation from a bone happens in the first pitch, soft ground up to short.
Okay. Oh no, that is how it would go. Oh man, I can see that in my head right now. Let's look forward to this series coming up in Wrigley Field. Always a nice place to be. Maybe not as much in April. Last year, I think around this time, the Phillies were also playing at Wrigley Field. I was at a game with my girlfriend. I think it was a Saturday afternoon game at Wrigley Field. It might have been the coldest baseball game I ever have been to. It was like the wind chill was in like the mid 20s that day. Not fun, but nonetheless, cool place to be. Gotta love Wrigley Field. But Monday night, you have Aaron Nola, Helen Rea. Tuesday night, you have Jesus Luzardo going against Shota Imanaga. Wednesday, it'll be Taiwan Walker as the bulk boy going up against Edward Cabrera. And then on Thursday, you have Chris Sanchez against Jameson Tyone. Um, any of these pitch matchups stand out to you?
No, because Wrigley's a fickle beast. If the wind is blowing in, it's gonna be pitcher's duel, no
Yeah.
matter what.
Yeah, I mean, Nola and Raya to me is like a push. Luzardo and Imanaga, I think you got to give the edge to Imanaga right now, especially against the Phillies, right? The whole lefty thing. Cabrera Walker, definitely give the edge to the Cubs, and then Sanchez Tyone, I think you got to give the edge to Sanchez and the Phillies. So, I don't know. Would you take a split, a 2-2 split?
I would take a one win at this point. I'd like just give me one win.
Oh man. Well, 1-3 would not be great. 1-3,
No,
you're sitting at 9-16 after that.
I know, but like I need just like I can't think of having two. You got to win one to win multiple. So
Yeah, I guess take it one win at a time. But I think if they don't split, the music's only going to get louder.
oh yeah, no, I mean it's just are you in the camp that believes they won't get better until things are firing? So you hope that they lose a little bit more, or do you think no, they can do it and you just hope they get their heads out of their asses?
Where are you on that?
Uh, I mean, I'm a freaking cynic. Like at this point, yeah. Like in a tr- if I would be correct in that if they lose five more in a row, they fire Thompson. I would take those five in a row.
If you gave me truth serum, I would agree with you.
Yeah,
I would agree with you. I think that's probably best for the long term of the team. In the short term of the team, even too, right?
yeah,
Beyond those 5 games or whatever.
yeah. But it's just like I don't want them to lose. I like want them to start winning now. So like they do that, great. But like if you try to be like the analytical side of the thing, like the way the team has played the past since 2022, I want a leadership change. And if I can get if they would fire Thompson sooner rather than later, I would take that. But I don't trust that they would fire him in time, so I don't want to just watch a losing team.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the Cubs are hot right now. The Cubs are coming off of sweeping the Mets, so they've won 5 in a row. Um, I guess we could be happy about the Mets, right? Like the Mets have now lost 11 games in a
11.
row.
And they had the
Um,
lead today.
they had a lead, they blew a save, and then let up the win in the 10th inning with old friend Craig Kimbrell on the mound for the Mets. Um, so I mean, at least we can't really laugh about what's going on with the Mets because I think we have our own problems. But
Yeah, but they signed Bichette from us in our second, so
yeah, I mean, I think Bichette's more likely to turn it around than Alec Bohm, right? Like,
100%.
I'd rather have Bo Bichette at third than Alec Bohm at third. I'll tell you that. But
Yeah,
the Mets have off tomorrow, so they'll be back against the Twins in Queens on Tuesday night. So, anything else you have for today's episode, Jeremy?
It's hard not to be a doomer. It's very hard.
It is hard to not be a doomer right now. I think we tried to mix in some positivity when we could today.
I mean, Felix Reyes, a guy we called up, a rookie who had been crushing it in spring training and in minors beginning of the year. Immediately hit a home run, the way he ran the bases. It was just nice. That was a nice moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was cool. First time somebody's had a home run in their first plate appearance for the Phillies since Weston Wilson, which was also the Michael Lorenzen no-hitter, which was also like the game in which Nick Castellanos hit like his 200th career home run. It was a pretty cool day to be at the ballpark that day. But a couple more actual notes, because I just took a look at the subreddit post-game thread. Some interesting things here. Locus of Death. To put this in perspective, the Mets have lost 11 games in a row, and we're only 1.5 games up on them. Pretty bad. Pretty bad when you put it that way.
Yeah.
Like McKesson saying that this is karma for getting rid of Harry the K's. I think the callous curse might be real. It might be real.
Yeah. Can we keep? Yeah. Maybe start complaining. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like
Everyone's calling for fire Rob and Long. So yeah.
the Phillies are going to feel it. If the Phillies are not good, people are not going to go to the ballpark. And like the ballpark is going to be even harder to go to because they made it so much more expensive in every which way. It's so much more corporate. Like the experience at the ballpark is not what it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago. They're going to sell less tickets when they are bad. And honestly, frankly, they would deserve not having as many people there if that was the case. So I am a believer in the callous curse.
You don't poke the bear, and they poke the bear.
Yeah. Rusty Shackelford 1 said, we've scored in more than 2 innings only 3 times all year.
We've scored more than 3 runs or 3 times in a game, like an inning, whatever.
We've scored in more than 2 innings, so at least 3 innings, only 3 times all year.
It is insane. It's so boring.
It's incredible. It's predictable.
See, like it's not even a fun team to, like when they're like, they're scoring runs and losing shitty ways. Like they're not even scoring. Like it's so hard to watch a bad baseball team that can't score.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So some good comments from the Reddit. Like to pull some of those in from time to time. But yeah, anything else that you have for us, Jeremy?
I'm just hoping the Ottoman Empire can pick things up in the minors and save us from the bone. I got nothing. Save us from bone.
Fair.
I mean, Escobar went 3 for 4 in betting today, betting 268 now, 737 OPS. Nori's betting 310, 878 OPS. I mean, at this point, we're doing a minor segment of the podcast to bring everyone happy.
Yeah.
Heredia, 3 for 5, 296, 913. These are positive stuff. Yeah.
There we go. We'll take it. I like how you said that there wouldn't be a lot to talk about today, but here we are, nearly an hour in.
Yeah, well, what do I know? I thought this team would be good.
Well, get them next time. But we will be back after the Cubs series to day game, first day game in a while, coming up to end this series on Thursday afternoon. So we'll have an episode up. Hopefully not too late into the day on Thursday. So excited to talk to you then. Thank you for joining, Jeremy. Thank you everybody for listening. And talk to you on Thursday.
Bye.